Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a watercolor painting, and this is actually my first watercolor painting in 3 years. Yes, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit, but I'll tell you about the drawing. First, you see me here. I had traced a drawing I did in my sketchbook onto some tracing paper and fixed up a little bit of it. I didn't really fuss around with it too much, and then just kind of scribbled on the back so that it could be like a makeshift transfer paper, and so I could put it onto the watercolor paper. This isn't, it works. I mean, it's not ideal. Probably I personally prefer to draw directly onto the paper, but I had a cute little doodle in my sketchbook that I thought I would try and paint, especially since I hadn't painted in watercolor in so long. I was kind of nervous about it. So you see me here. This is probably the biggest mistake I had in the whole painting. Was I thought it would be cool to kind of fill out the sketch with this Prismacolor pencil. I believe it is Black Cherry, I think is the name of this color, and it's a really pretty color, and it just ended up being way too waxy for the water, so it kind of repelled it, and I couldn't get thin enough lines that it would just wash over, because the lead in the Prismacolor Premier is just, it's too soft. So I still like the idea of sketching in color, so I'm thinking I'm gonna try out the Kohl Erase from Prismacolor instead. They hold their point a lot better and aren't quite so waxy, so I think that should be better for watercolor paintings. So I said this was my first painting in 3 years, and that is the truth. Maybe even longer than that, but no, probably 3.5 years. I hadn't done a watercolor painting, at least not that I can think of. I haven't done a watercolor painting since I was in art school. And the reason is I kind of went the digital route for a really long time. So for those 3.5 years, I pretty much only did digital artwork. And that was for a number of reasons. I love digital. I know how to use the programs. I was taught really well by some amazing teachers, and I had just played with it so much that I had figured out stuff. So I was like, well, I know how to use it, and so I might as well do it this way. And it was fun, and very cost effective. I only had to buy the program once, whereas opposed to traditional, like I had to buy new paper, new pencils, new coloring equipment, new ink, all that. So it was also more like cost effective to do it that way, but it got boring, I guess. I wasn't like excited to draw like I was before, and that could be for numerous reasons, but like every time I would sit down to draw on like digital platforms, I don't know, it seemed artificial after a while. And that's not saying I won't ever go back to digital, because I do love digital, so I think I'll always do digital work. But for now, and I think from now on, I will be doing a lot of traditional work, just because it felt good again to be drawing this way and to be creating this way. So back when I did more traditional, I did a lot of watercolor paintings, and I did marker illustrations, so hopefully I'll be doing those more. And since it had been so long since I had done painting, this painting took me way longer than it should have, because this is just a sketch. It's not anything serious. It shouldn't have taken me as long as it did, and I screwed up a whole bunch, but that's okay. I decided that I just wanted to take my time and have fun with it and kind of get back into the groove, because I didn't want to stress myself out to the point where I didn't want to draw anymore. And unfortunately, like, that stress can really do that to me. That's what happened with digital. Was it was stressful because, like, I wasn't enjoying it, so, like, I didn't want to do it anymore. And that's really unfortunate, because I came from, in high school, I drew, even before high school, I drew every day of my life, and because I loved it. And I drew every day all the way up through art school and even past art school, and then it just, like, I didn't allow myself to have fun. I took it too seriously, and I don't want to do that again. So I just want to chill out, have fun with this for a while, and kind of get back into the groove of doing paintings, and hopefully getting to a point where I can do bigger illustrations, and get a little more serious with the watercolor, because I love using them, but I need to get back into practice before I can think about doing some big scale pictures. So the products that I'm using in this video, I'm using the Kuretake watercolor 36 pan set. I'm using, the brush is just some cheapo brush I got in a pack at Michael's. No, they're just white Taklon bristles. They're nothing special. I got them because they were cheap and the handles were purple. I know it's probably not the best reason to buy them, but they work, and I just needed some cheap brushes. I have some more expensive brushes, but it's nice to kind of have backups and ones that I don't really care that much about. Later on in the video, I'll be doing some inking, and I use my Tachikawa nib pen holder with a G pen nib and some Speedball ink. And I do want to warn you, whenever I get back to the inking, my ink is not anything like what Speedball Magic Black ink is like normally. My ink, since I'm a comic book artist, so I have been doing digital comic books before getting back into traditional, and before that I did traditional comic books. I did all my stuff traditionally, and I did it all with nib pens and ink. And for comic book art, it's so much nicer to have a thicker ink, and so I left my ink open for a very long time so that it would get thicker, but I left it open a little bit too long, probably because I was in college and I was lazy, but it's super thick. You probably won't be able to tell in the video, but it is very thick, and it takes forever to dry, especially if it gets, like, blobby in some areas, because sometimes that happens. And the paper that I'm using is Fabriano Artistico cold press paper. I do prefer hot press paper over cold press paper, but I did get this in a sample pack when I ordered on Jerry Artorama. You can check that out in my art haul video that I posted about a week ago if you're interested. I did get a hot press sheet as well, which I'll be using in another video. I think that's all of the products that I used in this painting, so if you guys liked this video and enjoy talking about art, make sure you leave a comment, make sure you subscribe so you can see my videos when they come out. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.